Welcome back to the Soul Society. Let's hop right back in to the story of my life. Okay, so this friend was setting me up on a blind date. He just gave me this person's number, and he was like, yeah, just text them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe he texted me first. Either way, we texted, maybe it was like a week later or a few days later, we met. I noticed something very interesting. Like, this is, remember, a part of my spiritual awakening, realizing my abilities and things like that, my spiritual gifts. I saw him from a distance, and there was just like this darkness, not in the 3D, but like around him. I don't know if, I guess you could say it could have been his aura. And I was just like, like, okay. Proceeded with meeting him and hanging out and whatever. So it was clear, we made it clear, like, friends with benefits kind of thing, right? So I was like, whatever, I've never done this before, so so yeah, we hit it off. Again, the pandemic was happening, things were closed, things were weird. We go out for coffee here and there, we meet up a couple times, chatting on the phone here and there. It felt like, well, looking back now, I was so excited to finally connect with somebody again. I was just like, this is totally fine, like, whatever. But we live close to each other, which we find out a little later. And I saw him walking in the street with some girl, like, and I know what I agreed to, but I was like, ew, like, I was like, oh, I don't like that. So, and he saw me drive by when he was walking with this girl. He texted me while he was with this girl. He was like, hey, da da da, and I was like, it's fucking weird. I'm pretty sure he told me it was his sister, and I was just like, okay. But then I was like, ew, I don't like this, never mind. If I'm gonna talk to someone, it's gotta be like leading to a relationship, and like, cause I just can't. So I just like stopped talking to him. But eventually, like, I like just could not stop thinking about him, and I was so like annoyed with it, and I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna text him. So I did, and we were talking, blah blah blah, hanging out more, right, getting to know each other more. And then I had this, I didn't know that I could like receive visions, and like I had like psychic abilities and all these things. And I was like, I don't know how to explain it, but like I saw an image of you like in a dream, but I was awake, and like like, again, I was all new to this shit, and I received a vision of him, and he was standing, and I was like, it looked like we were at a football game or something. He was standing on bleachers, and I'm looking up at him because he's up there, and he's smiling back at me. And I was like, what the fuck? We did go to school together, the mutual friends, right? But we never met before in this lifetime. And I was just like, huh? Like, so fucking weird. I was like, la la. So I continue on. We're seeing each other a lot. We like really, really clicked. Like, it was really strange how we clicked. And eventually I figured out we were like from past lives, like probably from the very beginning. Past lives, yeah. So I figured that shit out, and we eventually decided to become a couple. I already knew, like, he wasn't gonna take this shit serious, and I was like, I don't know. But he would, like, refuse to let go of me. So I attempted to cut him off several times, and it just, oh my God, that reminds me. In the beginning, my ex-husband, he found out because he was stalking me, all this shit. And he was doing a lot. Like, I was scared to leave the house because I didn't want to see him. I didn't know what he was gonna do when he found out I was, even though, mind you, we again separated for over a year. He cheated on me, right? I was scared that he would find out and do something crazy, because he said some crazy things, I'm not gonna lie. So I was really trying. That's how, like, talking about it now, like, how sad is that? Like, the type of control this man had over me. I was so scared. And, like, every time I met up with this person, like, I would start shaking, and I thought it was due to my ex-husband, which it probably was. But later I found out because it was of this person that I started seeing. So yeah, every time, like, I would show him, I'm like, look at me shaking, like, I'm so scared. My ex-husband's crazy, da da da. And he was like, you want me to do something about him? And I was like, no. I was like, dear God, like, no. But yeah, so Jesus, I'm, like, remembering a lot of things now. Yeah, we got really close. Like, we just, like, it made sense, like, once I figured out, like, yeah, we're from, like, past lives, like, I think he probably didn't believe me or thought I was crazy, something like that. But we just, like, we would go to the casino and have, like, the best time. We would just, every time, like, we hung out, like, we had so much fun. It was just crazy. I don't know how to explain it. Eventually find out some sort of twin flame thing going on. But yeah, like, we would just have, like, these experiences. We'd go do things, and I don't know, it just, like, we could really be ourselves. I could be myself to an extent. I was still, like my intuition definitely, like, recognized I couldn't completely be myself, but it was just, like, this familiar being, like, not, I want to say home, but it was just recognizing him from a past life. My body and soul was just recognizing him and responding to that. Like, there's something here with him, that it was just being familiar. Yeah, because I felt more connected with him than I did my ex-husband and, like, previous partners. Very strange. But, and then, like, we broke up a lot because it wasn't a stable thing. It was not, it was supposed to be what it was, friends with benefits, whatever the hell. And he was already spiritual. He would tell me things here and there. He knew a lot. He was very intelligent. Yeah. And every time I'd, like, break up with him, like, it would just be weird in the sense of, like, I know this happens to a lot of people. You can't stop thinking about them, right? Da, da, da. But, like, I would see his name everywhere, and, like, it was ridiculous how I could, because I would, like, if I've broken up with somebody before, I could, yes, I would get over them eventually, but there was just this something, like, nagging, like, I don't know. I find out later what that was, what was going on. Excuse me. So this goes on for, like, a year or so. I really don't remember how long. Maybe a year or two, maybe. But back and forth, whatever. he was telling me about like his friend or whatever. He had like a picture of him and his friend that died a long time ago. That becomes important later. One of the last times that I left him, I was with him in his room and he got a phone call, and after he hung up, he just like broke down, got real upset. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, because on the phone he was just kind of like, whatever. And then he was like, yeah, one of my best friends just died. And I was like, whoa. And then he just like drove me home, dropped me off. Significance in that later. But eventually I stood my ground. We finally broke up because I was like, I knew he was seeing other women. And he wasn't taking this shit seriously, and just like, it was just annoying. Like, it wasn't a real relationship. It's not what I wanted. But so I stood my ground. We broke up for real. He would like show up at my house and things. Sorry, this is shaking. I'm just like leaning on it. Yeah, he would show up at my house, and it was really hard to just like say no. And then because of this connection, this past life connection, past lives, it's so deep, like, and I didn't understand it at the time, but it was so hard. Like, I cared about him so much, I loved him so much. It felt like, well, later on I realized that we played different roles in different past lives. I'm at one time, there's like a brother-sister relationship, a friendship, I don't know if I was actually his mother, but I was like this motherly figure to him in a past life. Like, I saw him as my child, but it didn't seem like I was his actual mother. So yeah, like, our ties were very deep. Yeah, so this was like so difficult. This was just a different level of, you don't just break up with like a twin flame or someone from your past life, like just the normal relationship or whatever. It's different. Yeah, and then so whatever, I think, like, and during this time he did introduce me to shrooms as well. We used to smoke together also. Anywho, I don't know why that's coming up. I'm just gonna mention it. So there's a reason. But anyways, so we lose contact, whatever, things finally die down. And then I was getting into tarot. Turns out I could read. Like, something told me just grab a deck at the store. I wanted to for a while, and I read for my sisters. My younger sister was like, holy fuck, like, that is so accurate. And my older sister was like, yeah, it's pretty accurate. And I was like, yay. So then all my abilities start waking up, reading tarot, like, so, like, easily, so accurately. I decided to take a mediumship class to open up more and learn how to, like, talk to spirits and things, because I was hearing things and seeing things. And I remembered as a child, when we were in the car and the radio's on, I could predict 100% accurately the next song that was coming on the radio. It was the wildest thing. My younger sister remembered that too. So I'm starting to remember and realize things. Meeting this guy was really a spark in my awakening, like, really set things on fire. And then, so I'm getting into tarot, whatever. I start like recording myself, he noticed somehow. I mean, I think he's been checking on me and like here and there, whatever. I don't even know. But yeah, anyways. So I'm getting into tarot, I'm reading, I'm doing real good. I get onto TikTok. Everyone already had TikTok for a long time, and I was just like, no, I'm avoiding that because it just seems like a trap. But that was where it's at, like for tarot readers and stuff. And I grew fast with the reading. My account grew really, really fast. So I'm figuring out that I have psychic abilities, and there's like clairvoyant, like there's 8 different clairs or whatever. I have all of them. So there's that. And yeah, so I start reading and uploading videos, and then I really start getting into watching other readers on TikTok. That might have been, it was necessary, but it might have been a mistake in the sense of I started believing like what they were saying, anybody and everybody. I was like, oh, if it popped up for me, it must be for me. And this one reader I really liked, he was really good. And I liked the way he read. He was like, has some sass to him, whatever. He said this person, I hate to say it, but this person did death magic on you, but little did they know it's not gonna work, and things are just gonna backfire for them. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I instantly knew who they were talking about. So, and it was, mind you, I was like still new to reading cards, tarot, and it was coming up in my readings, but I wasn't interpreting that way. It was the same cards that's why it really stood out to me, that one reading. I was like, holy shit, I pulled those same fucking cards. I was like, so this was like a big ass learning lesson. This person was like, meeting this person in this lifetime was like the biggest learning lesson I've had so far, I feel like. Yeah, like I thought being cheated on and finding out and getting my heart broken that badly was like pretty huge. Like, no, this tops it another fucking level. So I was like, wait, what? And like, I felt so like betrayed. Like I still like I was so good. I cannot help it. Like this is like the person I am. Well, I'm changed now, but so loving to this man, and so caring, so generous. Even like being with him, like people around him were saying stuff like, wow, you seem so happy. Wow, like not like he had a hot temper. I've seen it a few times, not with me necessarily, but others. And he had just this very tough exterior. And like anytime he was with me and he FaceTime like his friend or someone called, or they'd just mention how like he seems happier or something like that, or they're just surprised in his attitude or whatever. But so yeah, I was just like, when I love like with my whole heart. So to hear like that he was doing this, I was like, my heart like sank to my ass. Like I went past my stomach, sank to my ass. I was so sad. I was so upset. And then this is where I learned that people do this shit. I did not know that people were doing black magic and witchcraft and whatnot. And that's how I found out. And then shit gets real fucking crazy from here on out. Yeah, so we even Yeah. Never mind. We'll say that for the next episode. But yeah, I'm aware this sounds wild as fuck and it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, you'll see the next episode. All right, thank you so much for being here. I love you so much, and we will pick up next week.